Hey guys, my name is Mike here. Just want to do a quick Front 7 podcast. It's a lot shorter, just a little reactionary video to what we just saw. It is officially Sunday, which means we now have the AFC set for next week's divisional round. But the main talk that is pretty much going to be the talk of the town all week, and I will not be surprised if Marvin Lewis is not fired after what transpired on the field last night. And, as I record this is actually right after the Steelers-Bengals game. So, what we saw at the end of the game, A.J. Green, wide open touchdown, should have ended the Bengals' playoff drought. Granted, they did go for the worst 2-point conversion play call I've ever seen in a playoff game, and I'm not sure if that helps Hugh Jackson or if it hurts him when he has these interviews later today. But because it is, like I said, it is Sunday. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning as I record this. Basically, it seemed like the Bengals were going to win. They were finally going to win their first playoff game since 1991, and then the Steelers brought out Big Ben again. And while there's all this talk of Big Ben's a hero, he came out, led the Steelers back to it. No, Big Ben did nothing. The only thing that he did was watch the Bengals blow it and give him the game. And give the Steelers the game. And give them the plane ticket to Denver next weekend. That's what Ben did, basically. Trying to put these in words here. Marvin Lewis has completely lost control of the team. It was no more evident of that than tonight at the end of the game when everything was going crazy. The players were pushing referees. They were, fighting. They were doing all these things. And Marvin Lewis, when they showed the camera on him, and even if you watched the post-game press conference, there was no reaction. It was like Marvin Lewis had no reaction to what happened. This is a team, I saw it on Twitter somewhere, that said that Vontaze Burfict, who probably should be suspended for 2016, basically he did what he did because he has no respect for his head coach. And at that point, guess what? That means you're out the door. And to make things worse, Marvin Lewis heading into the game was 0-6 all time in the playoffs. Had not won a playoff game. Now, granted, remember, he has been the Bengals head coach for over 10 years. To put that in perspective here, he has been on the sideline for over 10 years. The Bengals have not won a playoff game since 1991. He is now 0-7 in the playoffs. That is the all-time worst playoff record for a head coach in NFL history. And after last night, with the implosion of the Bengals, how can Mike Brown justify keeping Marvin Lewis for 2016? I want to hear your thoughts on what happened. It was a crazy ending to what was a lackluster start to Wild Card Weekend, as the Chiefs pretty much blew out the Texans 30-0. As I said in my coaching carousel video, the Texans are not going to be a legit team until they get a legit franchise quarterback. 30-0. Hoyer is not going to be the guy. Christian Hackenberg, maybe Bill O'Brien thinks that he can be the guy. I don't know. But the Texans need a franchise quarterback, and it wasn't more evident than Saturday. Marvin Lewis looks like he could be out the door for next year. I know Mike Brown has been patient with Marvin Lewis these past several years, losing in the playoffs, but he's lost the team, folks. To tell you how it is, I went to the Bengals, their forums, or message boards, whatever you want to call them. At one point, I couldn't even get on because the board had crashed. And if you saw what they were at the end of the game, not only was it just absolutely disgusting that they were cheering Big Ben being injured, being taken away on a cart, But Bengals fans were throwing stuff on the field as they were interviewing Big Ben on TV, asking him about the win. They actually had to cut the interview short because they had to get him off the field for his safety because fans were throwing stuff on the field, let alone they were throwing stuff at him as he was getting carted off the field, completely uncalled for by Bengals fans. I understand your frustration, and the thing is, it could only grow worse. Marvin Lewis is now 0-7 in the playoffs. If Mike Zimmer and Jay Gruden win their respective games on Sunday, meaning the Vikings and the Redskins beat the Packers and the Seahawks, Mike Zimmer would be 1-0 in the playoffs. Jay Gruden would be 1-0 in the playoffs with a combined 2-0 record, while Marvin Lewis would be 0-7. Hate to say it, but I hate to say it, but things are just going to get worse for Bengals fans. It doesn't have to be both of them, but even if one of them, if only Mike Zimmer wins or only if Jay Gruden wins, these are guys that the Bengals passed on and let them walk to Washington and to Minnesota to keep Marvin Lewis. And if any of them win, or if both win, they're going to look stupid. It's only going to make things worse. That could even escalate Marvin Lewis being fired, even though he should be fired. But I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Should Marvin Lewis be fired? Is it the end of Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati? Who do you want to replace him in 2016? And if you're a Bengals fan, leave a comment below. Tell me who you think should take over as head coach next year. Or, does Mike Brown show that he is just going to let Marvin Lewis lose further control of the team by keeping him? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. It is Wild Card Sunday. We have the NFC to get through. Vikings, Seahawks at 1 o'clock. 4 o'clock, Packers, Redskins. This has been Money Mike with a special Front 7 podcast reaction to the Bengals-Steelers game. I'll see y'all later this week as I preview the divisional round as we are getting closer to Super Bowl 50.